Hey everybody, welcome back to WildCare. It is Wednesday afternoon and today Melissa is going to take us into the enclosure with Vladimir. An egg update for him. He's nesting behavior update, all of that stuff. I'm sorry, I should have done this before. All right, so hopefully we didn't lose you. I think we are on the correct Wi-Fi network now. I'm going to hand you over to Melissa.
All right.
There you go. Do you need me to get the gate for you?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, so here we are going into Vlad's enclosure. So back in May 2nd, we gave Vlad a pretend or a replica turkey vulture egg, not knowing really what he was going to do with it because he's been in captivity for over 30 years. Vlad is actually 35 years old. He was raised by a human. I don't know, as a pet or perhaps they thought they could rehab him when they found him as a little turkey vulture. But so we have had him for over 30 years. So when we originally gave him the egg, didn't know what he was going to do with it. You know, he could have played with it. He could have abandoned it. There's many different options. But what Vlad actually did was, let me turn around here. He made a nest and rolled that egg into his nest. And he's been incubating it or sitting on it for about 60 days up until July 2nd. Now, when we originally did this, we got a lot of questions if he was going to be heartbroken when the egg didn't hatch. And the thing is at some point he understood that this egg was no longer viable, so they abandoned it, which is what would happen in the wild. Now, the interesting thing is, although he's abandoned this egg here, he has actually built a second and third nest. Now, we're gonna go over here, and we're gonna show you Vlad building this second nest. So you hear these vocalizations, although turkey vultures do not have any vocal cords, but he is making that sound. And what he's done is collected all of this debris into his nest to line the nest with it. And what you see him doing right there is he's putting out his wings, pushing his wings down, using his legs to dig out. Right there, you can see it. Dig out or scrape out an area for an egg. Now, I find this just really amazing because I've never seen a turkey vulture do this. So I'm gonna be a little quiet here and see if we can definitely hear those vocalizations or lack thereof vocal cords. And watch what he's doing. Now, I don't recommend this for everybody to get this close to the vulture, but the reason I'm able to do this is because me and Vlad have spent a few years working up a nice partnership. Now, you can see him pushing his legs back through there. Again, being extremely delicate with that beak, although it is a very powerful beak. He can do quite some damage with that beak, but again, he's very, very gentle around in the nest. Just picking up little pieces, kind of organizing it the way that he feels it should look. Using his beak there, also to kind of push the dirt out of the way. Those wings out and kick those legs out to dig. Like I said, absolutely amazing that he's doing this in front of humans. Turkey vultures do not make these standard nests that you see other raptors make in the trees with sticks, feathers and grasses and such. they just find a good spot on the ground, and they do exactly what Vlad is doing here. See him kicking out his feet, pushing down those wings, using it for leverage so he can start digging. Very amazing behavior. Now Vlad does this throughout the day, but usually when I come in here, he starts working on the nest. Absolutely incredible to witness this. Okay. Turkey vultures are one of 3 vultures that we have in North America, the other being the black vulture and of course the California condor. Out of the 3 though, the turkey vulture is the most successful because they have an acute sense of smell. Because they do not kill their prey, they eat dead animals that have died of a disease or perhaps attacked by another predator or maybe hit by a car. You'll see a lot of these guys circling over a carcass. See there? Very, very. He's 35 years old again. 35. Right? And it's just incredible because just to realize how hardwired Vlad is for this. So again, with the whole egg, introducing the egg, we didn't expect him to do that at all, but he's completely hardwired for that. So no matter how long any of these wild animals have been at WildCare or in captivity, in wild animal, instinct will always drive their behavior. And it's a good reminder why the wild is wild. Okay? And very handsome bird as well. Yes, and it's very, very amazing how much he really is into this nest building, because we're starting over here. I'm just gonna pan out real quick, or maybe not, maybe he'll show us a little bit more behavior. Okay. And again, originally, he was incubating the egg over here. And he abandoned this egg and this nest site, this one particular one right here, went over to this one the day after that he decided that that was no longer a viable egg and started constructing this beautiful nest. Now within the last day or 2 here, we've also noticed that he has dragged more debris over into that corner to make a 3rd nest. Okay? So again, gave this faux or pretend egg to him on May 2nd, abandoned it July 2nd, and went on to making another nest. Okay? Like I said, he doesn't have vocal cords. What he is doing, though, it's kind of like a bagpipe. He's inflating air in there and then using all those muscles to control all of those sounds that you hear coming out of him. Okay? So they grunt and they hiss. And again, so he's taken, actually, these are his own feathers. He's molting right now. You'll see a lot of feathers in here. Molting is when they drop feathers and they grow new feathers in. And like a lot of animals, they take these feathers and they line their nest with it. It keeps their eggs and their babies warm. Which is why I always advocate that what do you do if you find feathers in the wild? You leave them, because some little animal is going to come along, take that feather and line their den or their nest to keep their babies warm. So really, the animals actually have a better use for these feathers than we do. And here he goes. Let's see if we can get a close-up on him. He's just picking out some more material. See, there you go. I could do this for hours, pretty much. He's just great. So we've given him a fake egg because he started displaying this mating behavior. So we thought, well, you know, what would happen if we gave him a pretend egg? And again, we didn't know what was going to happen. So he just took it and decided to incubate it. And it's just an extremely interesting behavior that he's hardwired to do that. And what's really cool too, additionally about that egg, You can do it for enrichment, sure, Shelly, it can be for enrichment. But again, it also could be for gaining more knowledge, you know? Like, you know, how does a turkey vulture who's been in captivity for 35 years know that that's his egg? Because we've given him chicken eggs before, and he usually destroys those. But for some reason, the shape or the color or whatever determination, he's determined that that is a vulture egg that he needs to incubate. So just that information alone is just amazing and great to gather, so we can learn more about them. And what's cool about the egg too, or what I noticed, is because I was checking on it every day, he actually was turning it clockwise. So he's actually rotating the egg as well. So that's how they were incubating. He does not mourn when the baby is born. Mostly the way that wild animals work here is just that they understand that it's not viable. That happens a lot. Just because an animal or a bird lays an egg doesn't mean that that egg is actually going to make it. And if it does hatch, it doesn't mean that the baby is going to make it to adulthood. So this is a reality that every bird faces out there. So they don't, I wouldn't say that they're mourning, but they just focus on the next generation, or they take their efforts to focus on the eggs that did hatch. All right. I think we'll go ahead and let him finish. So I just want to thank everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm so glad that you got to see this behavior in Vlad and what he's doing here. I'll keep you updated as well. Sorry, as the phone's a little shaky there. Okay. But anyways, thank you so much for hanging out, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.